Today on Sci-Fi Weekly, we're going to give you our best and worst list for the summer of 2016 in science fiction. Stranger Things has been renewed for season 2, and we're going to shine a spotlight on our special guest and his film, Mr. Charlie Pieper. All this and more today on Sci-Fi Weekly.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies. And now, here's Popcorn Talk's Sci-Fi Weekly.
Hey guys, welcome back to Sci-Fi Weekly. I'm your host, Zach Wilson. We got a lot of show for you today. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at @ThatZachWilson. Jesse Klein's here.
Hey everyone, how's it going? I am super excited to talk about this summer. You guys can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at JessKlein1. That's JessKlein, the number 1.
And we're joined in the studio today by a good friend of mine, Mr. Charlie Pieper.
Hello, all you viewers out there within the internet currently.
Charlie Pieper is he's a local filmmaker, big horror nerd.
Horror and a bit of sci-fi. They intermix, so today will be interesting.
They do.
Yeah, it's the chocolate to the sci-fi peanut butter.
And he's got a project
yes.
in the works that he's going to tell us about towards the end of the show.
Yeah, so stay tuned for that. It's going to be amazing.
Make sure that you guys are subscribed to us on Popcorn Talk on YouTube. You can follow us on Twitter at Sci-Fi Weekly, or like us on Facebook at Sci-Fi Weekly. It's a strange concept, but it's just our name.
Oh, and sci-fi is spelled correctly.
Yes.
Oh, it's sad that you have to say that, but it's so true. God, Sci-Fi, I tell you what,
it's not Sci-Fi Weekly.
Channel. My God.
Sci-Fi Weekly. I have a lot of respect for Sci-Fi because I like their shows.
Yeah, you can say that. I can say, screw them. That's horrible. Spell things correctly, you horrible, loathsome people.
All right, we've started off with a bang. There's a lot of news today, and there's only one way that we could possibly get through it all, and that's to jump directly past light speed and go to ludicrous speed.
Wow.
Ludicrous speed! Go!
Rumors are spreading. The new Warriors might be getting a series as Marvel and ABC start shopping a pilot around to different networks, suggesting it's not going to be on ABC but could be on another network, and it would be a half-hour show starring, of all the heroes you could possibly think of, Squirrel Girl.
It makes sense. New Warriors is about like a team of reality TV stars that have superpowers. Squirrel Girl, perfect for it. Although she's a Great Lakes Avenger. Let's get that.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of rumblings for a while now, at least a year, that Marvel has been trying to get a comedy series off the ground. Damage Control is somewhere in the works, but maybe slowed down by DC's Powerless.
Yeah.
And so we'll see if Squirrel Girl and her team of squirrels will grace our screens coming soon.
I had a squirrel get stuck in my attic once when I was a child living in New Jersey. It was a nightmare.
If it had been
I
radioactive,
could have used a superhero to help us get it out of there. Yes.
You could have been a Squirrel Girl.
You could have been a squirrel
I missed my calling. Charlie the Squirrel Girl has a ring to it. Yes,
Bit by
indeed.
a radioactive girl and a radioactive squirrel.
I'll take what I can get, I suppose. Oh my God. Boy.
Other Marvel news. In the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Steve Rogers is no longer Captain America. Joe Russo announces that on the Blu-ray release.
Yeah. Basically, we don't know if he's going to be Nomad or who, but when he dropped his shield in Civil War, that was it.
Yeah, but he's just...
Shouldn't have dropped it. What was he thinking?
Jeff Sneider of Meet the Movie Press here on Popcorn Talk tweeted out that it appears that The Flash will only have 2 villains from his rogues gallery in his movie, which seems low in DC numbers these days.
Yeah.
The two that he suggested it would be is Golden Glider and Captain Cold. And if you're wondering why those sound familiar,
Is Golden Glider like a flying squirrel girl?
Yeah.
Because that would be a good crossover. You heard it here first, mashup news.
If they sound familiar, it's because, yes, both of them have been prominently featured, especially Captain Cold on the CW. So any hopes of something new on the Flash movie quickly running out the window.
Dashed away. Mark Hamill appears to confirm his role in Star Wars. Tweets photo
Episode 9 specifically.
Episode 9.
They'll double his time and he'll be in it for a minute.
Yeah, tweets photo of shaving off his beard. At least until #episode 9.
Yep.
Cool.
That was the quote. You didn't need to read the hashtag part unless you wanted to.
I wanted to. I always read the hashtag.
Yeah, I mean, no word like what it could be a Force Ghost.
Ooh, Force Ghost.
But like
That would be hysterical if he dies between the last film and this one, just to annoy people.
Well, we still have to get through 8.
Oh, true, right. I'm getting ahead of myself. But still, that would be interesting.
Force Ghost Coast to Coast. He has an interview segment.
Luke Cage posted an extended clip this week, and
The character?
Wow, yeah.
Well, the
What
way
is
that-
reality?
Yeah, Luke Cage, the show.
Yeah.
Shared us an extended clip of his fight that we saw in the boxing gym.
The show looks great.
Why is it not September 30th yet?
I want it to be September 30th so bad.
Because time, moves
Come
forward
on.
one day at a time.
Come on, Netflix. You have
Arguably.
special powers.
You're only thinking of things linearly.
I do my best.
All right.
Zombieland 2 gets the green light. Finally.
Who's been clamoring for a sequel to that? Not that the first one wasn't good, but it's been how that came out
30 years ago.
It feels that way.
I don't know if it can just shit all over Walking Dead stuff.
Well, it could-
Think
that-
about the fun that you could have.
There's a lot
in
they can make
that.
fun of now. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
If the entire 2 hours is just them in a farmhouse talking about whether or not God exists, that would be great. The original writers are returning. They're sitting down with Woody Harrelson. The cast is apparently
Yeah,
pretty
so
excited.
they seemingly that quote seemingly confirmed the cast.
Yeah.
Especially Woody Harrelson. So, sadly, we got the announcement this week from NBC that Grimm, the horror sci-fi cop show, is on its last season. The 13-episode run, which will now start in January. Thanks for making me wait, NBC. Will be its last, and I'm personally, as a big Grimm fan, I'm actually kind of happy about this.
How so?
They're giving 6 seasons is a lot of TV.
It's a long-
especially because they've
That's
all
yeah.
been 22 episode seasons
full loss.
to this point.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that is a lot.
And they've given the writers enough time to do it right.
I think they're going to resolve it properly then.
Yeah.
That's good.
They have time to, at least.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it comes out.
Thank you for employing all of my friends in Portland. Transformers: The Last Night plot rumors. Optimus returns to Cybertron, finds in its ruins that he must go to the United Kingdom to find an artifact that landed there. Apparently, it's what gave Merlin his powers.
Oh my god, I'm falling asleep just thinking about this.
Oh no, there are gonna be explosions now.
Oh, those will wake me up.
Yeah,
Then I'll be
yeah.
mad because
And,
I want my sleep.
Gratuitous shots of a girl waxing a motorcycle.
Oh, naturally. But so they're really putting Merlinic theory into it?
Yeah,
Like,
Arthurian.
is that a thing that contextually has a premise within the plot before, or it just seems so random to me?
I remember Gargoyles did a lot with Merlin and.
Well, that's cool. Gargoyles
Arthur.
was cool.
Yeah.
Merlin was actually a motorcycle.
Merlin was.
No wonder they thought he was magic back then. They're like, all these pistons moving. What a wizard!
If Netflix wasn't living deep in nostalgia enough this week, they announced that Bill Nye is
so
going to
excited for
get
this.
his own talk show on Netflix.
That's cool.
It's called Bill Nye Saves the World, and I'll read the episode description for you. Each episode will tackle a topic from a scientific point of view, dispelling myths and refuting anti-scientific claims that may be espoused by politicians, religious leaders, or titans of industry.
When I saw this, I began putting a packet together. I was like, I need to write for this show. It's what my life has been leading up to. I'm so excited for this.
Yeah.
I'm excited that he's back, if only because it then paves the way for the return of Beekman, too.
Yeah.
Because I like Beekman equally as a kid, and he was weirder.
Did he have a rat friend?
He
or
had
something like
a
that?
big fat guy in a rat suit who
Yeah.
was his friend in the laboratory, and he time traveled, and he always played the other characters back in time. It was
Yeah.
ridiculous. And there were puppet penguins.
In other news, we got new Westworld trailer released, and it's gory, and it's got cool sci-fi stuff. And I think
Mature. It's a red band trailer.
It's a red band trailer.
Kids don't watch it.
They say a lot of swear words. But guys, this show's looking. It went from I don't know.
Well, there was a lot of trouble reported with it, but it looks good. I know some folks who've worked on it, and they seem to have a good time.
Yeah.
So, and it looks pretty good. So
It's coming up quick.
It's got no Yul Brynner like the original, but it'll do. It'll do.
Star Trek, new Star Trek Discovery details. Brian Fuller let us know that the main character, we don't know much about her, but she is going to. She will not be captain of the Discovery, but she's going to be referred to as number one,
Number
which,
one.
if that sounds familiar, yeah.
I believe it goes number 9.
Number one.
Number 9.
She'll probably be it sounds like she'll be the first lieutenant of the ship.
Yeah.
And if that wasn't exciting enough, if you had any doubts that this was going to be a Trek faithful show, they announced that Nicholas Meyer, who is best known for writing Wrath of Khan, is going to be writing episode 2. So I guess that makes they were like, well,
Return of the Clones,
you're best
yes,
known for
right?
well, you're best known for writing the sequel, so we're gonna give you the second episode, so because you can't write first, you got to start at 2. But yeah, so that's coming up. Let's dive into some bigger topics this week because we got some cool stuff to talk about.
Yeah,
and not a ton of time. Ready Player One. One of my currently most anticipated films. So excited for this.
Yeah.
Had some set photos leak. They are very, very minimal. But let's take a look at them.
They're pop culture references. I had no idea.
Yeah, they're basically just graffiti from around the set. No word if this is from inside the Oasis or not.
It looks kind of real world to me.
Yeah, I bet it's from outside the Oasis.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Oasis is gonna look good, but yeah, you've got Snarf, The Flash. Like Spielberg is doing a little bit of his own stuff there with Gremlins and Jaws.
Yeah.
Gremlins is Dante, but he did produce it.
This one is the most ridiculous.
Madballs. That's a deeper cut. I like that.
That's such a deep cut.
I loved Madballs
I
as a kid.
remember Madballs for sure.
I collected them as best I could.
Yeah, but he did say that he wasn't going to have many references to his own films because he felt it was too narcissistic.
Right.
I think some other people probably talked him into it.
Yeah, you kind of have to with that.
There needs to be a little bit, but man, I'm looking forward to the film as much as I absolutely despised and hated the book. I believe the book is one of the worst things I've ever read in my entire life, and I despise it utterly and think that it's embracing in pop culture is a travesty. It was horribly written. It is nothing but pop culture references written by a strung-out madman. If it actually was written for people who like the stuff, they wouldn't have to explain everything like it was being written for outsiders. The amount of times a character's like, this girl reminds me of Arwen. Arwen is a character from Lord of the Rings in Lothlorien. It's like, yeah, I get that. I've never read a book faster just to get it over with in my life. I think less of you, Zach, for liking it. You are a crazy madman, but I'll say this. I'm excited for the movie because Spielberg is infinitely more intelligent and clever than the original writer of this book. And since the book was mostly descriptions of what people were playing on a screen, seeing that visually as opposed to paragraphs of dumb text will be much more enjoyable. Thank you.
I will say the way
I'd drop this mic if I could.
The way I experienced the book, because I had listened to it, and I had Will Wheaton's glorious voice just read
that maybe helped
read
a little
this to
bit.
me
Sure.
for like 15 hours, and his performance is really good.
I read it.
So I thought it was great.
I read it. I thought it was. I mean,
there are.
I just take umbrage with the way it was written. I mean, you have world building for paragraphs and paragraphs that flat out states what's happening or what has happened. It's a lot of telling instead of showing, and that's not how you should write. I'm sorry.
I put it on the same level as like how poorly the Harry Potter books are written.
I'd put it below that, but we can disagree.
Where both of them just the quality is not as good as like the interesting part inside.
The concepts were great, yes, but oh my god, it was excruciating to me.
Yeah.
Like for me, like I understand a little bit how like world building can get a little bit tedious sometimes. It's something that I really enjoy reading.
Again,
It's
listening to
something
it perhaps was better than like you're 100 pages in and they're still explaining stuff.
But it's something
See,
that
I
like
like
also
that,
you
yeah.
see like a lot of.
If the characters are more than just archetypal stereotypes, maybe I would like that more.
I mean,
I did not like the main character.
Right? Thank you.
there's-
He is Gamergate in a nutshell. Let's
there's
put it that
there's
way.
definitely room to grow,
Which is why I'm
from the
excited
book.
Spielberg's
Yeah.
doing it, because he's
Yeah.
more about the emotions.
Yeah,
And that's why his
exactly.
films are so rewatchable.
Yeah,
Because you
and this
can relate
film
to them.
especially because this is Spielberg's been on like his like dark like especially like World War I and II kick for like a bunch of
Big
years.
friendly giant.
Yeah, that dark giant, my God. But no, you're right, yes.
But like he's getting back towards like
Majesty.
what he did in the 80s, and
Yeah.
that's what I'm really excited to see in this,
Yeah.
where he's working.
This will be his next
more
1941. It'll be incredible.
but I am excited for this movie, and the photos, like at least they're
The movie has mad balls. I
putting
like
it
it more
yeah.
than the book already.
But let's talk about the big news that broke this morning,
This morrow.
which is that Stranger Things is officially gonna get a season 2, as if there was any doubt in the world.
Yeah.
And they released
I
this.
doubt.
They released this trailer. Well, Netflix can do whatever they
Yeah,
want.
but it's like child actors. It's difficult sometimes.
Right, you need to get on that before they age
I mean,
into
I will
awkward
say
adults.
like they're all like amazing. Like
No, not the actor quality. It's just like, if you sleep on it, they go from being adorable kids to being
Yeah.
like gross teenagers.
which is
that
why
I
they're
hate.
already in the process of writing it and getting it into
Yeah.
production. They released this teaser trailer today to get us started. Oh, I love the music. Mad Max, the boy who came back to life, the pumpkin patch,
I like that one.
the palace,
Store.
the pollywog,
Yeah, I love pollywogs. They're adorable.
the secret cabin, the brain, and the lost brother. In the fall of 1984, the adventure continues.
This time it's autumnal. Yeah.
Ooh.
I'm
Get
just
some autumn
so excited.
Yeah.
And you guys that are joining us live in the chat, I want to know.
We have
let
people.
us know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello,
I want to know
people.
what you guys think of this as we go along. But I could not be more excited about
I'm
this.
pretty jazzed
this
about
season.
it.
Absolutely.
And the episodes. So
We
they're
got
doing
one more this time.
Yeah, they're doing 9 this time. The
Number
Duffer
9?
Brothers said that they wanted to do a little bit more, but like they do not want to do too much. They think that anything more
great
than this
move.
Sure.
is
You
that
don't want
they,
filler episodes.
Yeah, and they feel that like any longer than this, they would lose what they feel is the movie quality that they got of the first season, and not just in like quality of like the filmmaking or the effects or anything, because Netflix could easily just throw more money at it.
Yeah.
But what they get out of this is out of the shorter season is that it just is a constant ride that feels like
The intensity
way it
doesn't
feels
lead
like a movie.
Yeah.
leave. It just keeps going.
They've given us a whole bunch of details.
Yeah.
Let's first talk about the titles, because that's what that line of
Right, those are each of the episode
things were in
titles.
so that's like a crazy thing to drop this early.
Yeah, that's cool.
They're all
That
super
doesn't normally
cryptic, so
happen.
like luckily there's like no spoilers.
Right.
I'm sure it'll make sense like then there would be like after the fact, but
Like the boy who came back to life, I'm pretty sure someone's gonna die and then come back to life.
or it's just Will because he technically spoiler alert for season 1 of Stranger Things. FYI. We haven't said anything yet, but from here on, we will.
Yeah.
When Will got killed or they thought he was dead and brought him back,
Yeah, that's true.
I
The
think
plot of
he's
the whole
boy
first
who came
Have
back
you
to
seen
life.
that theory where Demogorgon and 11 are the same?
Or like mirror images of each
No,
other?
like Demogorgon is just like a projection of 11's psychic
Psyche?
ability. Yeah.
And when fans have too much time on their hands, they just think dumb
That's
stuff.
an
Well, I don't
that's
know.
an interesting theory.
It could be done cleverly, but
But we've seen
it seems too on the nose.
we've seen egg, like there was an egg in the
Right.
Upside Down.
Yeah.
So
which-
that we know there are others,
They've-
other creatures.
They've hinted at is potentially not from. It's not the Demogorgon.
There are other critters
It's
down
something
there.
else.
Yeah.
Yeah, that like
and
hatch.
those weird slugs.
That's exciting.
Yeah, which I think is my
that
theory
seemed to
on
be
those.
like baby Demogorgons.
Yeah, it was
kinda
like how
alien
the
cycle.
Demogorgon was going to like
Reproduce.
use them to reproduce.
Yeah.
You know,
but
you reproduce with slugs. We all know this. That's just
But
how
so-
reproduction works.
the law, like the other
Especially
episodes
if
that
you're
are
a
in
slug.
here.
Well, I hope so.
The palace, like the pumpkin patch, the palace, the storm.
I'm so excited for all the October-y, like, ooh,
Yeah.
it's summer's a good time, but October feelings, it can get spookier and weirder and a little colder. I'm excited.
Warm apple cider.
Oh man, I'm getting all freaked out just
The
thinking
brain.
about it.
Are they going to catch the Demogorgon and dissect its brain?
And they're opening
Like,
up with Mad Max all as one word. What could that mean?
the lost brother seems to like. I mean, like that could mean that his like Will's brother.
That's right. Oh, they said new characters entirely are coming into this season. They're
Yeah.
expanding on the world.
Well, I would hope so. I mean, season 2.
yeah, you
the
kinda have
biggest
to.
detail that they said is that that I love is the way that they're approaching this season.
Yes,
It's not
I agree.
It's not just going to be like a season 2 like you would see on any other show where they
Yeah.
change. They are approaching it. Their model for the second season is they listed 3 movies: Temple of Doom, Aliens, and Terminator 2.
Those are all
Perfect.
3 great movies.
Sequels that all expand upon the originals in brilliant ways.
It's 3 sequels that
but also change the genre.
Exactly.
That's true. They mix it up.
All
That's exciting,
shifted
too.
Yeah.
what the movie was doing in the first one. Terminator 2, very different from Terminator.
The complete
Aliens
inverse.
was an action movie, whereas Alien was a
straight
horror
up horror,
movie.
yeah.
But it still the two still feel like they are from the same world.
Temple
and,
of Doom is like a campy, more genre film than the original Indiana Jones.
and doesn't need to be about like the same stuff with like it's about Nazis and they're hunting. No, it's just like its own treasure hunting superhero guy story.
Yeah. So it's
on
going
an
to be a
adventure.
rom-com this season.
Yeah. Are you Stancy or Jancy? Learn. Sorry, that's a very random shipping thing. If you like Stranger Things, go to Netflix, youtube.com/Netflix. Check out the after show. Plug.
Great plug.
Yeah. Smooth. I think it was a perfect seamless transition.
I had no. It
Didn't
was smooth
stop
as silk. I
Any
think.
energy, sci-fi RL.
And then if we could bring up this next photo, because this was a funny story that broke, quote unquote, this
Right.
morning. Because David Harbour, who plays Hoop,
Awesome grumpy cop man. The best.
on the show.
The show is still Stranger Things.
Tweeted out. Curious about the episode titles in season 2 video. Spoiler: the Pollywog's a bottle episode dedicated to new cast member Patton Oswalt. I lost my mind.
That's pretty awesome.
Because I love Patton Oswalt. I think he's
Who
a
doesn't?
brilliant
Yeah,
comedian,
he's wonderful.
and he's shown like on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. that he can also come in and do a great job in a performance.
He's a great actor.
He's really good at playing like a heartbreaking, sad guy.
Yeah, he's also great scene stealer.
Yeah.
Then Patton Oswalt quickly came back afterwards to bust this rumor. Sadly, I will not be on season 2 of Stranger Things, but me and Jim Norton just sold our show Stranger Danger Things to Nickelodeon. No,
It's a good
he
response.
basically said that he and David Harbour were like messing around on
being
Twitter,
rascals, yeah.
and David, I guess, is newer to Twitter and didn't know that kind of thing can send everyone into a crazy spiral
for sure.
of theories. That said, Duffer Brothers, think about how we all just reacted and call your casting department.
And put a Patton Oswalt-like person in there.
You don't think you would want actual Patton Oswalt?
No, I'd like actual Patton Oswalt, of course.
Yeah.
But I actually, one of the things I like about it, and it's one of the things I like horror in general, is you don't need a superstar.
Correct.
Or like a well-known person. And sometimes a well-known person can
takes away from
take
the
away
mood
from
almost.
it. Yeah.
That's true.
Where,
Take you out of the horror or feeling.
We're like, we had one kind of superstar actor in the first season, and she was fantastic.
And she'll be back.
True.
Yeah, but like for the most part, it was actors we've never really seen before, and it kind of helps you connect with the horror if it's an everyday person.
I agree completely.
Yeah.
Also, the casting was just so incredible. The best part of the show.
Oh yeah, the casting was fantastic.
The Duffer Brothers are being they're saying that most of the cast is going to come back, but they're being coy
Of course.
about 11 specifically.
Yeah,
Which
they've
is
always liked that sort of fish. You know, they have a koi pond in their house, actually.
It took me a second.
Yeah. Well done, sir. Well done. But they're basically, they don't want to confirm it because we left the season on a question mark as far
Right.
as 11 is concerned.
It'd be silly to say flat out right now anything that would be too much of a spoiler.
Yeah. But they said they had talked about or thought about doing a big time jump and going forward, but they said there's still more story to tell in the 80s, so they want to stick around.
Yeah.
What I'm hoping
So it's
for
a good aesthetic.
all I'm hoping for season 2 is an Akira bicycle slide from someone. I want someone to do the Akira slide on a just a regular bicycle.
Nice.
That's all I want. Just give me that visual reference.
Other details that are coming out, that we are going to see the town react to Barb's fate.
Yeah, that was
Good.
kind of, I mean, that's a big
They
thing.
should.
It's the thing that everyone's like, no one cares about Barb, and they're like, guys, it was only over like 6 days.
Yeah.
The police said that she like ran away, so no one's mourning because they aren't missing her yet. They're just
And there's a lot of crazy stuff
there's
that's
other
happened that
crazy
needs to be
stuff going
addressed.
on,
Like
yeah.
everything that happened in the compound at the end and all the, you know,
Yeah, a lot of stuff.
Like I
happened.
said, but with real words. You're welcome.
Yeah, we understand.
Yeah, but so no word yet on a specific release date, but hopefully soon. Those of you
September 2016.
That would be ridiculous.
That'd be a bit quick.
Those of you who did like the after show, maybe tweet at Netflix. Tell them you want another after show.
Yeah,
Just saying.
do it.
Just do it. Let's move on to sci-fi in real life, because this week got real crazy for about 2 days.
It was really insane for a couple days.
I think I tweeted at Jesse and just to posting all over Facebook everywhere, just guys, everybody calm down. I'm not freaking out. I was freaking out a little bit.
I was on the road and I was like, what's going on my phone? And I was not driving. I was a passenger. I was on the road and I was like, oh my God, did we find aliens?
Yeah, so basically, for anybody who hasn't heard, it came out this week that a Russian satellite or Russian telescope base in Russia.
It's called Sputnik 2, I believe. Yes.
It's not what it's called.
No, it is not.
But they detected a signal coming from a solar system about 95 light years away.
Yeah.
And it followed a pattern that suggested an artificial radio signal.
Right.
Not a natural solar flare or anything like that.
Yeah.
And they kept it quiet since last May.
It was pretty impressive considering.
Yeah, well,
time.
And then apparently, it got sent, the information got sent out recently, and the email that it got sent out was leaked, and it created all this buzz because they had detected a signal that they didn't have a natural explanation for, which suggests that it would be a very advanced civilization that could beam a radio signal this far. As more details came out, they basically have found that they have not been able to detect it again from the same, but it is now on SETI's monitoring list.
It still sounds pretty intriguing to me.
It might be just K-Rock playing Free Fallin'.
The Russian base did say that they think it was terrestrial. They now think it was likely terrestrial in origin.
It's bouncing back.
Yeah, exactly. And that can happen and often does, where the satellites pick up something that was either it could bounce off the moon, it could come any number of ways. The
similar
signals can
thing
come back
happened
around.
within the start of the second season of Twin Peaks, where signals from outer space turned out to be terrestrial. They were still supernatural, though. So,
Oh no!
so that's my hope with this.
Maybe it's Earth aliens.
Earth aliens.
I mean, we could be in
Earth
the
aliens.
abyss. Who
Yeah,
knows?
could be the abyss.
Which should be on Blu-ray by now. My God.
Is it not?
No, it's still not. They're still working on it, but a lot of people are getting really pissed because it's been 2 decades.
I do.
It's a great film.
It's weird when I discover certain movies haven't made that jump yet. I know this one's not doesn't necessarily need to be Blu-ray by any means, but I was surprised to find that Idiocracy
Not on Blu-ray.
is not on Blu-ray.
Now would be the time.
Yeah. We are coming
Our November
in
special.
November.
Perfect.
We're
Perfect
gonna
timing.
do it probably 1 week before the election. We're gonna do an Idiocracy election special.
That's great.
Yep.
That's great.
Well, it says, announcement for 2 months from now. But let's get into, speaking of 2 months, or rather 3 to 4. Let's talk about our main topic, the summer of 2016, and what the best and worst moments in science fiction for the summer were.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I mean, this was a big summer and a quiet summer at the same time. We had some
Absolutely.
big tent poles that were either surprisingly good or
The tent poles
surprisingly
were
bad.
big, but you walked inside the tent, they were hollow.
Yeah.
Nobody was there.
Boom,
The carnival is dying.
snap. All right.
So, favorite single moment. What's your favorite single sci-fi moment of the summer?
Ooh. All right. I mean, I know mine.
Then go first.
You go first.
Because this is for me, the summer started with Civil War.
Okay.
With Captain America: Civil War, because it's May, which is on the brink, and they really just that was sort of the big explosion out of the gate for science fiction movies.
Yeah.
For the summer, and the moment that Giant Man just blew up on my screen, and I freaking melted in my seat.
Yeah.
There's a character just called Giant Man.
Well, it's Ant-Man when he gets big.
Oh, okay,
becomes
right.
Giant
I,
Ant-Man.
I'm a little behind the times.
He's-
I literally just saw Ant-Man this week, so
It's this little guy here.
right.
Trying to balance.
I just killed Ant-Man. The end. Goodbye, everybody.
No, he's fine. He can take a big fall.
That's true, like an ant.
Nah, I can't
That's
do
not
it.
going to work.
But I was determined to balance it on my mic. Not gonna work. But
There you go. The monolith always helps.
the original Ant-Man is one of my favorite characters. Scott Lang also up there. But
Yeah.
basically, I love the science aspect of this character and the Pym particles that he.
It's an interesting concept,
Yeah,
yeah.
and that so. Seeing it, Ant-Man, like the powers on screen in the original movie or the first movie.
What did you think of the
was-
first Ant-Man movie?
It is okay.
I
had
agree.
No,
It was kind of meh.
I had no fan complaints about it. I didn't mind any of the changes to backstory or anything like that. But I had problems with the structure of the
It felt very fillery.
It felt like there were two different writers on it, which is exactly
There
what
were,
it was.
and then Edgar Wright went
The
goodbye.
thing I liked about it was that it was a smaller story.
Yeah.
Like it was
Conceptually
it was
makes
Ocean's
sense.
There's a
11,
lot.
but
There's a lot
with
good.
superpowers.
I'm very excited for the sequel because it's going to be that team from the get-go, and they'll be able to do everything they
Right.
want to do.
Yeah.
And I know
Yeah.
that they will take care of the characters and move forward. And it becomes one of the things that is reason that I fell in love with the character of Ant-Man,
Right.
which is Ant-Man and the Wasp. I fell in
Right,
love
yeah,
with
yeah.
the team,
Sure.
not just one of them. So to see the two of them together is something I'm excited for. But as far as this moment goes
Yeah.
this summer, that moment was just, it was such a comic book on screen. The thing that I love, because like it's clear like the science that they put into the suit and everything about it was, and the fact that it like found ways to make it a limited ability where it was difficult for him to maintain. It just showed such careful thought on the part of the Russo brothers and Marvel that went into this character that I have a love for, that I just loved seeing it on
Brother
screen.
directors are so in right now.
All right.
The Russos, the Duffers.
Yeah.
Woo.
Cohen's.
Coens, yeah.
There's a pool starting to form on Marvel Movie News on Popcorn Talk. How long before the Duffer brothers get offered a Marvel property?
Oh, interesting.
Probably within the year, but knowing them, they might not want to do it. I feel like they got so much good stuff. On their own. I don't know.
I feel like after Stranger Things that goes, like it's exactly the kind of thing they want to do.
Yeah.
Or Marvel rather.
Right.
And a horror movie for Marvel is gotta be on their list because
I'd
as
love
they
it.
branch out into different genres. Anyway, favorite moment from you guys.
Do you have one, Troy?
Well, yeah, it's a little bit off the beaten path, but I can work around it.
I'm
and I'll
shocked.
Say,
Yeah.
this guy's known me for years. He's put up with my madness. Anyway, I'll say Stranger Things as a whole was one of my favorite moments, which is the energy of the kids. But on a more personal level, my favorite sci-fi moment of the summer comes from something that didn't inherently come out this summer, but came to Hulu in its entirety this summer, and it is the cartoon show Gravity Falls, which
yeah.
is now my favorite cartoon of all time, and I love it. I became so attached to the characters that, I'll be honest, I cried when it was over. Like, it meant, the world meant so much to me, and the way it put in horror and sci-fi with just energetic, goofy, lovable characters. You know, it's set in a town just like Twin Peaks, but it's with children investigating monsters of the week like X-Files.
Cool.
I love it. If you haven't seen it, it's all on Hulu now. It is wonderful, and it made my summer.
That sounds great. Mine is I was thinking specifically about moment, because like instead of just like something that just for a moment I enjoyed it, and I decided that moment was from a movie I did not necessarily like that much, but the moment where we get the reveal in the Independence Day sequel, where we see how humanity has taken alien technology and made the world a different place, and seen that it's been 20 years since the first aliens attacked, and we see how humanity has changed in those 20 years. And that's the thing I love about sci-fi, is that you take a concept that's simple like that, and you can blow it out and make a world. And we see that, there are helicopters, but they kind of have the aliens from Independence Day technology tacked onto them. And there are people with regular guns, but they've got a little bit of alien technology just stapled onto it. And I thought that was some great world building. a lot of you were talking about showing, not telling.
Right, there you
like,
go,
They
yeah.
didn't have to say like, yeah, it's a helicopter, but we put some hover pads on it.
Yeah.
Like there wasn't that guy.
But that little detail did sort of show you how the world had used the aliens, the foreign technology,
Yeah.
but put it into what already existed. Either it didn't even matter; it could have been for
And it's also realistic.
practical
If that
means,
were to
Yeah.
happen, we would do that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
or
we would
just like we
cannibalize
have
it so
we have
quickly.
the shell of a helicopter. We can slap this onto it. Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, the shape of the helicopter is irrelevant to this new technology, but it's comfortable and it's familiar.
we
So
know,
of course
yeah.
it's going to be designed like that.
So that was like my favorite sci-fi moment.
Yeah. Let's go the opposite direction, and then we're gonna come back around to talk about our top three
Yeah.
Sure.
stuff from the summer. Well, in a positive, because we do need to go to negative for a little bit.
Yeah.
What were the most disappointing either movies or TV shows or just things that you like saw
Yes.
over the summer?
Charlie, you want
Well,
to go
yeah,
first?
I can start. Again, as I was explained, I'm a bit more of a horror person than sci-fi. So if I could talk about that a little bit,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was horrifically disappointed by Neon Demon and Lights Out. I both thought they were loathsome and vile and dreadful and hollow and poorly executed, for sure. So don't see them. Or if you have and disagree with me, well then you're wrong, but that's okay. I don't know any of you listening to this right now, and you probably will never meet me in real life, and that's fine. That's how reality works for the most part. But on a more sci-fi level, I haven't seen it yet, but I heard Suicide Squad was horrible. I heard Independence Day wasn't as good as its marketing, which the comical marketing with Jeff Goldblum was hysterical.
That was great. Yeah.
But so yeah, there seemed to be a lot of stuff that came out this summer that just didn't live up to snuff, and you guys could probably talk about that more specifically.
Yeah, my least favorite thing, it's kind of a tie between X-Men Apocalypse
Oh yeah, I heard a lot about that.
and Suicide Squad.
See, X-Men didn't even get on my list because I think my brain blocked it out.
Ooh,
yeah.
ouch. Yeah.
Because it was just like it was so overwhelmingly.
Yeah, it was just
So much of that these days.
they
It's
could have
unfortunate.
like once again they took the X-Men world and like they destroyed everything and it meant nothing. Like Apocalypse was destroying, I'm pretty sure, city-states, countries, that kind of stuff, and it meant like there was zero impact in
Yeah.
the world, and I'm sure it doesn't get addressed ever, and like it just
Sounds pointless then.
it didn't. There was no weight to it. None of the characters acted out of any. Like none of them had.
And didn't they
any
have that
reason.
amazing actor behind all that makeup playing the bad
Yeah,
guy?
they
And, like,
did.
what a waste, because that guy's incredible.
Yeah.
Why? A
And
fun
then-
paycheck for him, perhaps.
And then Suicide Squad again. Like they nailed the characters, but it was just terrible storytelling. And like then I found out at the beginning that the final cut was done by a company
Trailer
that edits
company, right?
trailers.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, that's why the first hour of this movie is 6 trailers put together. And it's just like I saw it twice because I saw it with my dad because he wanted to see it. And I counted the first half of the movie has 24 like song stings in it as they reintroduce and introduce characters.
Wow.
Oh, man.
And it's just really poorly done.
For me, Star Trek Beyond, because of it is not like by any means like the worst movie of the summer or anything like that. It just, because my expectations were so high for
Yeah.
it, I left it just so disappointed because I expected so much more from the team that put that together, because I know from their previous work that they are capable of so much more. And I'm not sure at what point in the process it fell apart, but the script
That's what I heard,
and
yeah.
the story of Beyond, just for me, just it was lackluster.
Did you rewatch it?
No, well, I saw it twice.
Yeah, on the second viewing, I was like, "Oh, this is a really good episode of Star Trek." Like,
Yes.
it's a really it's the most original series Star Trek-y like any of the new films have been, and it's like a good Star Trek episode. But as far as a movie goes, it's lacking.
Yeah.
Like, it would have been a great TV show.
Yeah, and Kristian joining us in the chat, he's like, he just says, I know Zach disagrees, but in addition to Stranger Things, I was excited to see the crew of the Enterprise on the big screen. It had been way too long.
There you go.
Wasn't
Like,
it
yeah.
only like 3 years?
It's too long,
all
Charlie.
right. Sorry, Kristian.
But I did want to see them again. It felt like it
Yeah,
had been a
that's
while,
true.
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
I was ready for a new movie. And we are gonna get a fourth one.
And talk about it again. Amazing actor covered in makeup playing a bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I
I haven't seen it yet, so maybe
Yeah.
he's good in it. He's
His
a great actor.
performance is good.
His
in
performance
it.
is
Yeah.
Idris
fine,
Elba
and, like,
is amazing.
I don't, and I think at a certain point, like that doesn't bother me. Yes, like his personal like facial expression, everything is wonderful when he does it, but he can also do a makeup
That's
movie.
true.
Like,
yeah.
and like
No. I
he
think
can
I like
be-
him so much. I want to see him more as just. Well, I mean, that's why I'm looking forward to the Dark Tower. If we,
Yeah.
Dark Tower's gonna be.
I love those books.
and all that.
And then
Let's go let's go positive route.
our top threes.
Top 3 things of the summer.
Charlie?
Charlie,
yeah,
why don't you
I
go
mean,
first?
number 1, clearly Stranger Things just blew me away. Number 2, I love the new Ghostbusters. I will defend the new Ghostbusters. I thought it was funny, amazing. I loved the cinematography and colors of it. It looked like a live-action episode of the animated show version from the late 80s, which is what I loved the most as a kid growing up with all the toys of it. So I loved it. The backlash was wrong. It was stupid. It shows the worst of humanity, and it's just bonkers dumb. Y'all are dumb.
Yep.
If you're into that, ridiculousness. But yeah, I loved it. And then for third, I mean, I'd go with Gravity Falls again, even though that's more personal to me because that
that's
was my
great.
favorite thing of the summer.
Yeah. You wanna
Jesse.
go? Or?
I'll go.
Okay.
Because mine's pretty similar to Charlie. Stranger Things, because it just came so out of nowhere.
It really
I didn't
did.
even know it was a thing
Yeah.
until about like 3 weeks before or maybe it was a month before when we started talking about the after show for it. Somebody like I was
Right,
the person
right,
who was like,
right.
we're gonna do this thing, and I was like, yeah, I just heard about that.
It really felt like it came out of nowhere.
It did. There was no like. I never heard about this development, and so the fact that it took me by surprise, and I don't not just because like I did the after show for, it, but like I genuinely just was in love with this show and enjoying every minute that I watched
Absolutely.
it. I mean, Civil War has to be on my list because I will once that movie Blu-ray comes out in like a week, I will watch.
You're just such
it
a fan of Ken
until it
Burns and his
breaks
documentaries.
apart.
I know, yeah.
Dearest Martha, the Black Panther has come into the camp
number
and beaten us all up.
I thought I was gonna be the one, but Ghostbusters was gonna be my number 3.
I loved it. It was so funny.
Because again, like the movie has a lot of flaws, and we
does.
talked about it on this show
Most movies
when
do,
it came
though.
out. But
Exactly.
there's a lot of problems in it, but it was so much better. Like talk about expectations,
Right.
It was like there was so much more to like about it than I thought there was
Absolutely.
going to be. All
its
my
energy saved
like,
it, even when it was awkward. I
all
thought.
the worry that anyone had about like, oh, it's the female like the movie didn't even feel like that was a thing.
Right.
No.
That's what's so funny. That wasn't a thing. It became the thing because of chumps like that.
Yeah, there were problems with it that had nothing to do with that
Right.
as a fact. It was, in fact, it was the homages to the original
Right. Whenever
that were
it-
its biggest weakness.
Yeah,
Whenever
for
it
sure.
did its own thing, it was more intriguing.
Yeah, the 21 Jump Street is just as bad a movie as it is, and I would say Ghostbusters is funnier than the 21 Jump Street.
Oh, I
sequels.
love the 22
Yeah.
Jump Street movies. There's such ridiculous nonsense in the best possible
Sure,
way.
but what I'm saying is like they're equal quality film, and I would say
I would argue that, but
All right.
yeah. Honorable mention I have to give to Killjoys on Sci-Fi.
There you go.
Because that show it like took what it did in season 1, which was a shocking hit, where I thought it was going to be silly and campy, and it is, but it also manages to elevate the genre at the same time, which is a weird conundrum that it's managed to successfully navigate. The finale is this week, and I'm extremely excited for it. And it is just continued to build on what it did season 1.
That's cool.
And being one of the most diverse casts on television does not hurt.
Yeah. My top 3, a lot of crossover. Stranger Things, of course. I can't really say anything that you guys haven't already said. It just, I love genre stuff, and I love it when things are specific and they stay that specific, and like the quality stays the same, and they respect the viewers, which I think that show did fantastically. Civil War. The Civil War event is what got me back into comic books as an adult, which I think
too.
has made me a better storyteller, a better comedian, a better writer, all of that kind of stuff. I'm just enjoying comic books and enjoying that form. And it was the movie was awesome. The best comic book movie so far, in my opinion. And number 3 is a comic book. It is the Karnak ongoing series that Marvel is doing. For those of you who are not familiar, Karnak is a kind of side character to the royal family of the Inhumans, and until this series, his superpower has always been that he was able to see the weakness. He was able to find the weakness in things. So even though he was a martial artist, he could like beat up a robot and that kind of stuff. And what they did with this series is they said, it's not that he can find the weakness in things, it's that he always sees the weakness in things. Whether that's opinions, logic, philosophies, or a robot, but he always sees the weakness in things, emotions, all of that kind of
I
stuff.
haven't read Karnak. Now
Yeah.
I really, really want.
Yeah, it sounds really fascinating and strange.
It's really interesting. He has some really interesting conversations with Simmons from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. He has some interesting conversations with S.H.I.E.L.D. in general about like why they shouldn't exist, because he only sees why it's weak, not why it's strong. And it's also an interesting idea for a character. Like, how do you trust anyone? How do you believe in anything if all you see is weakness?
I'm so fascinated by that.
That's a deep topic.
Yeah.
Real quick, before we talk to Charlie about his short film.
Hello.
Let's do the mission assignment.
Real
quick. I want to do some shouts. Kristian Blatt, who's joining us live as well. He sent in his mission assignment. Hands down, summer 2016, defined by Stranger Things.
Correct.
Second place was great second season of 12 Monkeys.
Oh.
On Sci-Fi, which a lot of people really, really love.
Yeah.
I like the original remake movie by Terry Gilliam from the 90s.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, some people in the we also got
Yeah.
that
weird music, I love it.
the second person, but it was Chase at Quantum of Chase. Says his summer the Rogue One trailer.
Yeah,
that was a good
just to
trailer.
get you pumped up, like
very well
pumped.
edited, good visuals.
and
Love that
then-
like monkey critter with the gun. Yeah.
he read his first Adam Strange comic.
Ooh. Bless you.
Sorry about that, guys. And Chill
That's
Cat.
how you know it's live.
Thanks for joining, Chill Cat.
Chill
Says,
Cat.
best of the sci-fi summer so far, Stranger Things.
Yeah, sure.
It's basically everyone's Stranger Things, and then it's just what comes second.
Yeah.
Mr. Robot season 2.
Oh.
I've heard that show is great. I haven't seen it yet, and I'm so anxious to get into it because it sounds amazing.
Sounds really good.
Yeah, Kristian recommends both seasons. He has also a massive disagreement with you about 21 Jump Street. And
Ooh, fight.
and
Yeah.
Bruce Lee in the chat roll agrees with Charlie about Neon Demon.
Thank you, Bruce Lee.
that
I
was-
thought you were dead, but I'm glad to hear that you're not and that you agree with me. You've
came
just
out of
made my
obscurity
day. Neon
agree with
Neon
Neon
Demon would
Demon.
have worked if you could tell that the director wasn't getting off on the visuals he was inherently trying to say were bad. Because it's not even it's not like he's taking down the modeling agency world because he's so in love with it. Oh, it was awful. It was awful.
Yeah. All right. So next week's mission assignment, Jesse, what are we gonna do?
Yeah, I think this is going to be a fun one. How about you guys send us suggestions of technology? Did we do this one already? I feel like we might have done it already. But technology in the science fiction world that you wish exists now.
No, I can't remember. I need a tech thing that makes me remember.
I think you
Yeah.
need a time machine to go back in time to see if you've already done this.
That would be a great,
Luckily, we have YouTube.
yeah, an
But
implant.
either way, we'll talk about that
We'll
next
do
week.
it anyway, like anything, a TARDIS, sonic screwdriver, whatever you want.
Or not Doctor Who things.
Or not Doctor Who.
All right, let's get into it. Charlie,
lightsaber.
Yes, hello.
tell us a little bit about
right.
Malastraka before
Right.
we.
Well,
is it Malakastraka?
I'm currently funding a new short psychological horror film called Malakastraka. The title, that word is a scientific description for the largest class of crustaceans, such as lobsters and crawdads, and the film involves a very hideous crawdad, hence the name. So yeah, it doesn't involve science, but this film is about fiction, and it's about the scariest fictions of all, which are the fictions your brain can create if something goes wrong. It's about a married couple going through some extreme difficulties. It's from the point of view of the husband, who's losing his mind. So when his wife finally gives birth, he doesn't see the baby as his, or even human. He sees it as some sort of hideous crawdad mutant.
So it's sort of it sort of screams like a third-person perspective of like a
Well, it's like...
Kafka. Metamorphosis.
I mean,
Metamorphosis.
there's that kind of sense where it's an extremely unreliable narrator. You, as the audience, will realize something's wrong with the husband, and so you get a sense like, oh, maybe that baby isn't a monster, which makes what the husband does even more disturbing. So it's very psychologically horrific, but with a lot of monster and practical creature puppetry effects.
Love it.
We got a quick teaser.
Let's see it.
Let's take a look at it
It's very
when we
disturbing.
can. I would expect nothing less.
Here we go.
Yeah, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was probably the most disturbing and slightly sexual thing you've ever had on a Sci-Fi Weekly show. So hello, I'm Charlie. That's what I do. I disrupt things.
There you go.
And you're working with
yes.
a big a sculptor, right?
What's extremely exciting about this is the special effects creature puppets are being built by the legendary effects artist Gabe Bartalos. You might not recognize his name, but you certainly recognized his work because he's been building creatures for films for over 30 years. He created Leprechaun with Warwick Davis back in the day. He did Basket Case 2 and 3 in Brain Damage with the infamous Frank Henenlotter cult director. If you're into artsy-fartsy weird stuff like me, you might be aware of Matthew Barney's Cremaster Cycle, which was a notorious 1990s art house film trilogy that Gabe did all the effects for. Matthew Barney was married to Bjork, and their divorce is what Bjork's latest album is about. So that's just an interesting, weird fact.
That's awesome.
So Gabe is an amazing monster creator and sculptor who is half in the film world and half in the art world. And I used to work for him at Atlantic West Effects a couple years ago, and we hit it off because we had very similar interests. So after I'd spent about 2 years developing this script and getting the right producers and actors, I presented it to him, and he joined in. So he is building and sculpting these hideous mutant crawdad baby puppets for the film, which are going to be as realistic, if not more so, than anything you've seen in feature film. So while it is a short film, the effects are amazing.
Awesome.
And crazy, practical, real deal on-set puppetry.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
As am I.
You sell me on a creature.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. It's like, this is why the film stood out to me. I wanted to bring you in here. Like,
Sure.
these kind of creatures are always fun to play with.
Absolutely.
And especially, like, any psychological stuff. Like,
Right.
for me, that's where, like, the best of, like, science fiction and fantasy and horror,
Right.
like, all live
Yeah,
is
I
when
agree.
you get into
Yeah.
that sort of realm.
Absolutely.
And you've been working in stop motion for a long time.
I come from a stop motion animation background, and when I worked at the Atlantic West Effects, I started as an assistant painter, painting a miniature of Los Angeles that had been commissioned by an eccentric billionaire. And when we were done, this miniature of LA was bigger than the
Are
room.
you sure he wasn't going to blow up actual
Here's
LA?
what's interesting.
Yeah.
The billionaire commissioned it to be put into his living room floor and then covered with plexiglass so he could walk over it, literally like a Bond villain. This sounds fake, but it's entirely true.
Serious, like
This mansion
props to
exists
this
in
guy.
Beverly Hills.
The only time it's acceptable to be eccentric is when you're a billionaire.
Right? Yeah, for sure. But yeah,
Well,
so
no,
I started
it's just the only
there-
time where
yeah.
you can
Get away with
when
it.
people see it.
But yeah, I started there as a painter and then did some hideous stop motion animations for an infamous Norwegian artist who would commission the effects house to build out stuff for his art shows. So yeah, I come from a stop motion background, but I really like working in live action now, but still with puppets and stuff. So for me, it's the best of both worlds. I can get the best actors and the best effects, bring them together, and create a short film the likes of which I assure you haven't seen before.
And the physical puppet you much prefer to like CGI.
Absolutely. I mean, CGI is a necessary evil and can be good in certain amounts, but to have a real creature that you can light on set for real and get a sense of the physicality of it, and the actors can react to it. I mean, this is a film about birth, so the actors will be able to act out birthing this thing. and it will then be birthed as a puppet into the hands of the man playing the husband. It'll all be real, which
Yeah.
makes it worse. It'll be there. It's
Very
physical.
happy I'm on the other side of the table.
Yes.
Where can people go to help? Because you've got
Right.
you've got your Indiegogo campaign going.
We've raised over $12,000 already, which is
Wow.
incredible. We still have a ways to go, but we have a little over a week left. And yes, it's on Indiegogo. So if you go to Indiegogo and search Malika Straka, it'll show up. Or if that's a hard word to type, if you search within film, I believe we're still one of the top trending ones. Or to be easier, you can go to my Twitter handle at Inherent Charlie, and I'm tweeting about it like a madman because I'm promoting it.
Great.
Andrea Peasy in
yes.
the chat says she has already donated.
That's right. Thank you. Yeah, she has been a good supporter and has stuck along and helped reblog and retweet it a lot. So
Awesome.
thanks for watching
But,
now. Yeah.
I'm very excited to see the film once it gets made,
yes.
and I'm sure that I'll see plenty of your posts of it getting made as it goes.
Yeah.
One more time, where can people find it?
You can find me on Twitter at Inherent Charlie or search Malika Straka on Indiegogo and donate today. Yes.
Nice.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Thanks for coming in, Charlie. This has been fun.
Yeah, this was fun.
It's
this
great
is
when
random. I
somebody
dig it.
strongly disagrees because
Yeah,
I feel
I
like
love it.
Jesse and I end up disagreeing too often
Yeah.
sometimes. But guys, I have been your host, Zach Wilson. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at @ThatZachWilson. And be sure to join us on our sister network, AfterBuzz TV, for the Killjoys season finale after show, which is not going to be on Sunday where we normally hit, but is going to be on Tuesday, next Tuesday, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, while we finish up the season. Jesse Klein, where can we find you?
You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at JessKlein1. You can see me doing stuff at the Pack Theater here in Los Angeles. We got Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. coming up.
Yeah,
in
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is
September.
like 3 weeks away.
Yeah, and hopefully Luke Cage coming up.
We'll
We
see
don't
what
know who's the
happens with
panel
that.
Yet. And that's where you can find me. Yeah.
Cool. All right, guys. We have been Sci-Fi Weekly. Thanks
Yes.
for geeking out with us.
Bye.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Popcorn Talk Network or its owners or principals.